Hello and welcome to the Turf and Touchdowns podcast, episode number 20-something. My name's Luke Elder. I'm here in sunny Greece, working on terrible Wi-Fi, so I apologise in advance on that front. The more reliable of the pair of us, which is a rare one, is my good friend Tom Collins. Tom, how are you?
Yes, I'm very good, mate. I hope you're enjoying your holiday. Obviously, the Wi-Fi isn't ideal, but it just goes to your dedication to the cause that you've taken your microphone, your laptop out there, and you're still trying to do the podcast this week. Obviously, it's the Travers. It's a podcast you can't miss, and you have taken 30 minutes out of your day to do this while in sunny Greece.
Emphasis on trying. Normally, me and Tom would do something right now. We're like, we're so funny. Isn't this great? Let's just talk about the race, because I don't know how long this internet's going to last. So the Travers is the feature race among a wonderful, wonderful night of racing over at Saratoga. We've got 5 grade 1s on the entirety of the card. We've got Charlie Appleby runners as well. But the Travers is the mainstay. Market leader potentially will be Dornoch, but we'll address the pace as we always do. There's lots of it. Almost everyone in this race has a claim to wanting to go forward at one point in their career.
Yeah, this is a phenomenally exciting race, phenomenally exciting day, as you've already said. The Travers card in general, 14 races of fantastic quality and competitiveness, and great punting heats as well. The Travers being one of them. 4 horses at the top of the market, all separated by just 1 point in the morning line. The pace, as you say, there's plenty that want to go forward, which is fantastic news. We shouldn't get a dawdle up front and then develop into a sprint. No one likes that. Hopefully we'll get a contested pace. The best horse will then go and win. I think Thorpedo Anna has to go forward from the inside gate. She's got no other option. All of her best efforts against the fillies have come when she's gone to the lead. And Brian Hernandez Jr., if he's not a super aggressive from the inside, she's just going to get swallowed up by the colts on her outside and get put into a terrible position. So she has to go forward. Dornoch, we know him as an out-and-out front runner. He's drawn in stall 7. So again, he really has no other option but to push forward and try and grind out another victory. And then Fierceness always likes to be on or near the speed, and he's in 8. So he's just going to follow Dornoch across. And those 3, I imagine, will vie for the early initiative. There are plenty of others in here that also like to be on the front, but I think those 3 are the quickest.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Thorpedo Anna absolutely has to be well out of the stalls, which didn't happen last time around. That's a big concern from stall 1, but she has to be better this time over. We'll start with a word on Fierceness. Obviously, I was with him last time around when he got the better of Sierra Leone. I think he's just a sort of horse that you're either with or against him. I'm against him in this spot. I just think it could be a little bit too crowded for him up on the front end, and I'm not with the Pletcher runner, but you can't doubt his ability.
Yeah, just an exceptionally talented horse. We've seen when he's at his best that he would beat this group. We saw that in the Jim Dandy last time when he beat Sierra Leone and you sided with him and I went against him. We saw it in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile last year. But then we've also seen the bad side of Fierceness in the Kentucky Derby. And it seems like when things don't go 100% to plan, which to be fair, they did in the Jim Dandy last time as well, he throws in the towel a touch. And I'm not saying he'll definitely lose this race. We've seen that he is the best horse on natural ability. However, I, like you, agree that maybe things aren't going to go 100% his way. He might have to sit off the speed. He might be forced to go a little bit faster than his connections would want through the early part if he wants to be on the speed. And therefore, I just want to look elsewhere. But again, he's drawn nicely. The outside gate for Fierceness is key, and he's managed to find it in this small field. So I wouldn't be shocked if he did win, but he's just a little bit too consistently inconsistent for my liking.
Yeah, I would agree with that. On the other side of the track, we've got Thorpedo Anna drawn 1, as we said, and we've also got Sierra Leone drawn 2. Is there a chance in this, Tom, that Sierra Leone is able to sit just a touch handier with Thorpedo Anna, give him an early lead into the race?
Well, you'd hope so, because Sierra Leone has struggled recently, filling the minor money positions, purely because he's just too far back in the run. He doesn't have any early speed, and his gate speed isn't the best, so that immediately puts him on the back foot. But I did think last time in the Jim Dandy, Flavian was just a little too late to get into full stride on Sierra Leone. Now, I'm not saying it was a bad ride by any means. It wasn't. He rode him perfectly well enough. He made a good move around the turn and closed all the way to the wire. But he could have just got this horse underway a little bit sooner with the proven stamina. And I'm thinking behind Thorpedo Anna in the early stages, he's going to grab the rail. Maybe he can sit within 3 or 4 lengths. And if so, he would be very dangerous late in the day. He's still got this issue of hanging left-handed. If he spins wide in the straight, we're going to be questioning whether he's actually going to go through with the effort or not. He's still got this issue of paddling with his near foreleg, but he's got loads of talent, and this race actually might set up for him with the contested early speed that we've already talked about.
Yeah, anyone that's sitting there with the Tom Collins bingo paddling is ticked right off. You're fine on that front. We've almost got a full line. Thorpedo Anna, again, we've mentioned in passing, and again, we'll continue rattling through these. If she misses the break, I don't necessarily think her chance is gone, but it's severely hindered on that front. If she gets to the front, then she'd probably be favourite of this lot.
Yeah, well, she's the most interesting runner in the race by a huge margin. Obviously, she's a filly. She's coming in off the back of 3 Grade 1 victories, Kentucky Oaks, CCA Oaks, and in the middle of them was the Acorn. She has been almost untouchable so far this season. Now she faces the boys. She gets a £5 weight allowance, but it's just so difficult for fillies to beat the boys going 2 turns this time of year, top level racing. And if Thorpedo Anna did it and she manages to win the Travers, she'll become the first filly to win the Travers since 1915, since Lady Rother won the race. And she was only given the victory, Lady Rother, via disqualification of the actual first past the post. Only 6 fillies have ever won the Travers in history. And since 1915, only 4 fillies have tried it. That shows you how difficult it is to win this race, being a filly against the boys. She's a great horse. She's been super consistent, really impressive all this season. But as you say, she's drawn inside. She has to go forward. She has to make the front and hope that she can fend off the others. I would love her to win. And a couple of months ago, when she was 6-1, 8-1 for the race, she was probably good value. But now at 3-1 on the morning line, she's not for me.
Yeah, I agree with that. She's the horse that I want to win the race. Whether I think she'll win the race, I don't know. But that could change coming to the first bend. If anyone was going to try and win the race with a filly, it was Kenny McPeak. And Kenny McPeak is 100% giving this a go. So good luck to Connections. Well done. They're doing the sporting thing. If she wins or runs well in this, then she's a huge Breeders' Cup Classic candidate further down the line. Let's get into selections. Tom, who was your play in this wide open renewal of the Travers?
Well, I'm super excited for the race. Obviously, Dornoch, we haven't fully touched on there. He's another huge player based on those 2 victories over Mindframe, including in the Belmont. More so from a neutral perspective, am I super excited? I will probably have a bet in the race, but it won't be a super confident one. It will just be because I want an interest in such a great race like the Travers. I respect Fierceness. I think on his best, he would win this. But to be honest, I just don't know whether he'll produce his best. And what we've seen over the last few months is he runs one good race followed by one bad, followed by one good. That's the trend. And given how good he was in the Jim Dandy and that current trend at the moment, I think he could produce a bad display, and therefore I'm against him. Dornoch, I think, will be super gutsy on the front. He'll be in the first 3, but he might just get overhauled late. Thorpedo Anna's just no value at the price, but I hope from my heart that she wins. So I'm going to do what I thought I would never do again.
Oh, no.
And I'm going to put up Sierra Leone, Luke. Look, I don't like this horse. I say it every time. He paddles, he hangs, he's too far off the speed. You need a pace collapse. He needs everything to go right. However, Chad Brown is desperate to win the Travers. He was born just 18 miles away in Mechanicville. He has used this race as his main target since he started training, as this is the race I want to win. He would rather win the Travers than the Kentucky Derby. He'd rather win the Travers than the Breeders' Cup Classic. That's what I was told by Jimmy Jerkins, a legend of the sport and good friends with Chad. I think he's going to have Sierra Leone spot on. Hopefully he produces a game, and hopefully Flavien Prat doesn't leave him 10 lengths out of the back, because it's going to be almost impossible to run down his rivals if that's the case. However, he's the proven stayer at the trip. He's got a nice pace setup. He's drawn on the rail. I think he's got a great chance of winning. And to be fair, he's 4th favourite on the morning line, and therefore I think he represents reasonable value. Whether he's going to be 4-1, 7-2, I'm not sure, but I think that's an okay price.
See, what Tom's doing here is hedging. He's either right on Sierra Leone won't win a Grade 1 this year, or he's right in the fact that Sierra Leone's won the Travers. Either way,
correct.
Tom's got something great.
It's a win-win.
Yeah, that's what we call hedging in the business. I'm going to go a little bit more left field. I pray that 8 of them stay in. If 8 of them don't stay in, then the bet probably isn't a bet. But Corporate Power, I just think we'll get the setup. I can see so many of these going too hard early. Thorpedo Anna, Unmatched Wisdom can go forward, batten down, wants to go forward. Dornoch, Fierceness. If they all take each other on, we could have a ridiculous pace on the front end here. I think Corporate Power, the second to Unmatched Wisdom last time was good. He was closing at the line, and I would say just getting going, but he was strong through the line. I think stronger than Unmatched Wisdom. Obviously, he is more experienced, but 15 to 1 in the morning line is going to be a quite attractive price because it'd be a horse that over here we haven't really heard of a great deal. But I thought Corporate Power from an each way standpoint was very much a player. But it's a Travers, Tom, that you can make genuine cases for all 8, and they would be absolutely live cases.
Yeah, it feels folly that we haven't mentioned the 4 rags in this spot. Obviously, Unmatched Wisdom and Corporate Power, who you've just touched on. They're both still very good 3-year-olds that really haven't seen the best of yet, especially Unmatched Wisdom, who's only had the 3 outings. And then you've got Anna Marie. I mean, this is the horse who we've been really putting up as a valid each way play in some of the biggest 3-year-old races this year. So it's just a great race. I'm really looking forward to it. If you get the winner there with Corporate Power, you're probably going to be the only person on the planet to do it. So it's a huge win for you. You've got nothing to lose at a big price, but hopefully he goes close and at least hits the frame. And fingers crossed we actually see a good performance from Sierra Leone. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this week. It's one of the best races, if not the best race of the year.
Absolutely, it's very much an eye towards the Breeders' Cup Classic, but the Travers looks at a fantastic contest. We'll be looking forward to that on Saturday night. Honestly, Tom, I am absolutely stunned that this Wi-Fi is held out.
Yeah, I mean, you've been super laggy for me. I don't know if that's going to be the way for the viewers. If so, sorry guys, but he is in Greece, so give him a little bit of a leeway there. But yeah, I mean, you've done exceptionally well to conduct this podcast, and hopefully it comes across well for the viewers.
Yeah, it was either this or just Tom sits on his own and tells you what I think. And we thought we'd give it a go, but we got from one side to the other. So next week, we'll be back at the same sort of time. We'll be back on Friday because I'll have moderate internet then instead of really bad internet. So we'll take that part. But Tom, thank you for joining me. It's been lovely spending time with you on my holiday.
Thank you. Yeah, I imagine. Enjoy the holiday, mate. It looks like the weather's lovely out that window there. So go and enjoy it. Have fun with the family, and I'll see you next week.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the beach. Bye, everybody. I hope everybody has a fantastic time. I hope you get the winner of the Travers, especially with Corporate Power. Until next week, stay safe. Look after one another. Goodbye.